Now, this looks like what you would expect for a regional, and yes, we do have a very special top 24 Odotic pile for you today as well. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. We have the Florida regional breakdown for you today, and there's some pretty interesting things in this top cut. First of all, Melodious ended up winning the event, which is actually spectacular to see. I'm very happy to see that Melodious has been making some pretty interesting waves out here. And then we had 3 Snake Eyes decks. Okay, that's pretty normal. Snake Eyes has been your leading competitor in the metagame. I know, jokes aside, it's still here. We also had 2 Tenpai Senpais, you know, the dragon gang out here, doing as they need to. Nothing really too strange and out of the open or ordinary with that. And then we had a Labyrinth deck, kind of stepping out of the woodwork here and showcasing that this deck can do some very interesting things if left to its devices. And we also had Salamangreat. I actually think Salad was the most interesting thing to kind of come out of this. And like I said, at the end of this video, you're going to get the chance to see the top special for Odotic. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. All right, so our first list here is going to be Melodious. And of course, I guess the most interesting things that you really have to argue with out here are how many Tam are you going to choose? It's either 0 or 1. And then, you know, are you building in the hard polymerization? And there's been an argument for either or right now. And of course, yes, the barrier statue of the heavens with the condemned witch. This has been gaining a huge amount of momentum right now. Just the fact that, you know, the condemned witch with the barrier statue gets you the ability to basically soft light lock your opponent, which is pretty strong where it needs to be. To be honest with you, outside of that, this is, I think, the most interesting thing. Obviously, being able to pull a droplets out and laugh at your opponent while they, you know, kind of stare and go, what am I supposed to do with this? And, you know, light barrier statue. Yeah, a lot of decks are having issues with that. Welcome to Modern Era Yu-Gi-Oh! Though, where you can put a floodgate on the field and laugh at your opponent. All right, moving on down the ladder here. Tenpai Senpai. I'm glad to see that we have where there's a will, there's a way. Gosh darn, I hate this card name so much. Alright, so we are playing one of this for the excavation. We do have the set rotation in here, main decking the Feather Duster as we should be. And the triple droplets built into the main. There's the triple Nibiru special. I also see, we have a Zombie World down here. I can't really say Zombie World was on my list of things that I thought I would see, you know, for this deck attempting to play. But you know what? In innovations, they come in all sizes out here as people attempt out and try out some interesting things along the way. That's always going to be like the thing out here. Players want to try out things and get excited for some crazy ideas. It's another one of those cases, you know, ooh, tech choices, ooh. You do see the Curry Belt down here. No anti-U-Belt cards. And we are doing the AFD move-up shenanigans. Hello, Shifter. Really glad to see you're here. And, of course, this build is also playing the Fenrir as well. Okay. Moving on along, we have, oh boy, the Snake Eyes piles begin. The most interesting thing for this build here is we are playing some of the Fenrirs and the Unicorns. We are no strangers to seeing these cards kind of entering into the meta here as cards to, you know, help alleviate what we're going to call the stress of the meta. You need to understand that having these cards, their purpose is to, you know, sift through the meta and punish your opponent. Mid-range control is going to be one of the best things that this deck actually has access to, and it does it frickin' fantastically well. I also see, hello Deltas, hello Gamma, how are you guys? You have the Subversion down here as well to kind of clean up any immediate problems that you might run into. Outside of that, though, the Snake Eyes piles, they're pretty straightforward these days. You know, you don't get your innovation, it just, oh boy, playing the formula instead of a Trishula, that's your innovation, I guess, for the time being. Woo! All right, we have more Snake Eyes for you, and this is where we go to the more cookie-cutter approach of things. The Double Flamber's Dragon will be sticking around for a while. You do see that this build is opting to play the crossouts in the main deck. Reason for this, you need to be able to specifically handle those power cards that your opponent's going to be dropping on you, and, well, power cards, I mean, hand trapping your butthole in as you're crying, you know, well, okay, now we have double talents built into the main. Down here on the side deck, we have the droplets, you have the cosmetics. Holy Batman, they wanted back row. Hey, and of course, there's the drolls. I also see we have a nice flash of dimensional barriers in here as well. Extra deck, 100% standard. Hey, look, it's the Formula Synchron. Remember, you can cut the formula for a Trishula. That's what the YCS taught us. You can tack in really weird things and actually get rewarded for it. Still can't believe that. It's what happens when you can play cash tier cards in your pile deck and everything just seems to magically work out for you. Alright, what else we got back here? We have more Snake Eyes. I'm telling you, this Snake Eyes Diabellstar card, being a little extender for the deck, was one of the best little things that they could. I also love the fact we get to play so many engine cards in this deck. Still maximizing on the Triple Witch for some of these builds. Then in the side deck, we have double Diabells. The original Sin Keeper. This was not on my bingo sheet, actually. I knew that a few people would consider this, like, it's maybe a one-of, but this is a lot to be taking in out here. The fact that you're pushing for this card being that good. Also for the mirror match, this is a free special summon too. I guess that's another thing to really consider. How often does this card, come up in a situation that you would want it? Also see we're playing Trap Tracks in here, and we're setting up Dimensional Barrier and Simul Archfiends. Haha, I see. Yes, the punishment for the Tenpai Dragon players. Well, it's not like they don't have a reverse OTK line in order to clear out the game or anything, Babaga. Our Salamangreat duels. Now, this is actually kind of cool to see. I've been wanting to see some more solid innovations. I think one of the coolest things that this list actually had to offer was we're doing the Terratop and the Takumtum board to actually get into the Mirage Stalio to kind of be the thing to kind of start combo, which means you can still hold your normal summon if you need to for something like the Code of the Soul, if, maybe you're not going to do that, but I believe there are times you're just like, well, I got to start combo with my Code of the Soul. Well, crap, I guess. We are doing the Horse Prince in here as well. This card is still really freaking good in my opinion. Horse Prince being the free little extension for you to go is good. And then, of course, the rest of your deck is just take your swing of Link Force and kind of go. I mean, you have your Searcher, you have the Pyro Phoenix kind of clear out games. Okay, and then, of course, the one little Phoenix. Still only doing double Sunlight Wolf, but perfectly understandable, right? Alright, what else we got back here? Oh, our Labyrinth deck. Now, this caught my attention. We're actually playing a copy of the Barrier Statue in here, so you can detour and punish your opponent, because, I mean, hey, everything's dark in here, eh? Like, oh, you're not dark, who cares? I also see we are doing the Fire Attacker with the Impulses to sculpt your hand, which is something that we have had some consideration for. And we're citing the Shavara, which means we're not playing the Unchained trap in here at all. Okay, I also see that we are playing one of the Labyrinth setup. The more that I see this card kind of show up, the stupider that this card is, in my opinion. Labyrinth setup is it's one of those cards you look at and you're just like, holy crap, like this card is absurd for what it actually tends to bring to the table for this deck. Getting 2 free things out of this literally should not be happening, but hey, you know what? It's good. I also do accurately believe this card is pretty broken in here. Oh, we have more Tenpai Senpai for you. Yay. Let's see here. You have the Ghost Mourner, Moonlit Chills in here, pretty standard stuff. Double Fadra. You have the Triple Ogre. Yeah, all this looks good. Your tech choices for the main deck here. You do have the one Change of Heart and you do have the one Rivalry. This is pretty okay. I've heard a pretty interesting argument for Rivalry being like something you do want to play in this deck. Other people are like, hey, you can side it if you really want to. This is also kind of interesting. We're playing 2 copies of Fenrir in here instead of like maximizing on 3, but this is one of those situations that having this card be searchable for itself means that if you dead draw 2 of it, you're just kind of in a bad situation. So by playing the lower number of it, it's easier to play, and it's also a lot easier to kind of side in the 2 versus maybe dropping out something you don't really want to along the way. So that's pretty interesting. Outside of that, though, your Tenpai decks are some of the easiest things in the world to actually play. And then, of course, here is our special I was talking about. This is 60 card Evil Zor Ododic Pile, Phantom Knight with a splash of just kind of everything going for you here. You are doing the Evil Tile package to, kind of turbo up into Lars, kind of help you out. Actually kind of interesting to see Vanguard in here, but it's also really cool. But remember, all of this is all very possible thanks to the Snake's Rain package. But this is just kind of crazy. Seeing all of these moving parts present in this deck. You know, the fact that you're going down through, you know, some mini Snake Eyes package to kind of facilitate things, the Odotic package helping you out along the way. Even having the Phantom Knight stuff in here, well, thank you, Rusty Bardiche, to get a Fog Blade on the field. That's kind of freaking stupid, actually, and I love everything about this. This is some innovation, actually, in terms of pile decks. So what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.